Yo, what's up, everybody? Wellness Week Live. Thanks for tuning in. I am Anthony, the DJ. That's Magnus to your left, my right. In California, I'm in New Jersey. Let's talk about travel. And what does travel have to do with wellness? Well, I mean, you know what? I would say that you can make the argument that travel is important for one's wellness. Maybe, I don't know, to escape and get a vacation. But here's my take on this, Magnus. I already alluded to it off camera, but okay, my argument is. Travel, and by the way, I travel around the world. I have a passport, and I'm going to be traveling this summer. I'm not, but for me, travel is a means to an end. I'm traveling because I want to hang out with my friends, and they're going to be in, Greece. I'm honestly not going to Greece for Greece. If my friends weren't there, I wouldn't go there. So my point is this: traveling is a waste of time. Traveling is a waste of money. Traveling is just a headache. And if you live in New York City area, Chicago or LA or Miami area, if you live in a city area, there's a lot of culture. You want to try different foods, you don't need to travel. My neighbors, I have Indian neighbors, I have Pakistani neighbors, I have Irish neighbors, I have Spanish and Filipino neighbors. I speak fluent Italian and Spanish. I speak basic Korean, and I've never been to Korea. So my point is, that people will say, well, you can be cultured. I can be cultured for free. I use a thing called the internet. So I don't know. I mean, for me, I just don't see the value of travel. I went to the Coliseum. Okay, wow, cool. This is nice. We took a picture. Cool. All right. And what are we eating for lunch? Let's go eat lunch. Like that's how I was when I was at the Coliseum in Italy.
Yeah.
The Coliseum's nice. A lot of history. Cool. I can read about the history at home. I don't know. Did I need to go spend $10,000 I don't know. Magnus, what do you say?
Uh,
I know you're a traveler.
I come from a family that we started traveling at a young age. So I don't like the actual travel, like getting on an airplane at an airport, things like that. I despise it.
That's a big problem for me.
Yeah, and I get it, and the jet lag and stuff like that. But same as you. If you have friends around the world and things like that, and I mean, I have my family on the across the Atlantic, so traveling to see family and friends, that's something that's always going to be important. I like to see, and my wife is even like more adamant about that than I am, like seeing things with your own eyes. Like she teaches history, so she likes to see. Like she went to Egypt last year to actually see the pyramids and so on. We went down to Cancun this spring break and checked out some of the Mayan pyramids and things like that. I just find like the history aspect of things pretty fascinating. Luckily, I grew up in a city, Stockholm, where we have a lot of history and museums.
Right.
So of course you visit them and see a lot of cool things and unique things that basically don't exist anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, listen, I get it. Okay, and I'm not saying there's a right or wrong. Like obviously people have to do what works for them, and that's cool. That works for you. It works for some other friends of mine. God bless. It doesn't work for me. And so I went to the Vatican, okay, many years ago. Vatican was very nice. That's nice. And I left and I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't know. I never want to go back again. I don't care. So again, if for some reason I went back to the Vatican for some reason, I would say it's nice and this was nice and that's that. Like I don't like, I can learn about the Vatican through my phone, my cell phone.
I mean, it's the same thing. You can just watch a documentary about it as 100%. Well too. It's and I think that like living in a place like New York, you're exposed to so much, like when it comes to different cultures and people and like you basically have people from around the whole world that lives in a very small area.
That's my thing. If I lived in rural North Dakota, then maybe travel would be important, possibly. We still have internet. But like I said, my neighbors are from the Philippines. I want culture.
But it's another thing also. Like if you're interested, for instance, if you have a hobby, like I know that like bicycling. One of my friends in Sweden, he has traveled basically the whole world, or several of my friends actually traveled the whole world to go bicycle at different places. You
Yeah,
know, like doing the same route that they're doing like Tour de France
right.
and things like that. And I think it's like that's another thing. Also in Sweden, we travel to a lot of places where they have good summers because sometimes summer in Sweden is not funny.
Well, that's
So
go ahead.
so then they travel to a place where they get some warmth and sun and so on.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? And that's especially living in the New York City area like I do. And when I get sick of the winter, guess what happens? The summer comes, and we have all the seasons. It gets as hot as 105 in New Jersey, and it gets
Yeah.
as cold as -5. And we have all the seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. We have every single ethnicity, and in within a
But
2 mile radius.
yeah, but like looking so for instance, if you're living in Stockholm, you can have a summer that is basically rainy and it's like 45 degrees. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
This could happen. And when you have a long winter on top of that, people are starving to actually go to the warmth and things like that, and they don't want to risk it. So that's why a lot of people travel. And then like people also travel on the winter year because they was just want to get away from the snow and
and I
things
get
like
it,
that.
and right, and so we don't have that here. Like I said, once we get sick of the winter, oh my God, look, it's the summer.
Yeah,
So,
and
and
you get warm summers in New Jersey,
of
New York as well
course,
too,
we get beautiful
and
blue skies, in the
and you're close
summer.
to the beach as well
Well, that's the
too.
thing. So, and again, people are like, "Oh, well, don't you want to go to the beach?" Okay, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. No, I don't have to leave the country if I don't want to. There's plenty of beaches within
You don't
50
have to leave the
miles.
state.
Right. And people say, well, don't you want to go to a beautiful beach? We have pristine beaches within 50 miles of New Jersey. I can go to Delaware. I can go to, if I want to, I'll go to Florida. Like I can hop a 2 hour plane flight. I don't have to go 18 hours somewhere. We want to go skiing. New Jersey's got that. We want to go to a desert. Want a forest. We got that. We want a city. We got New York City. Like, so for me, it's just like, yeah, I want to be cultured. Listen, I know more about the Korean culture than any Korean teenager in America. Okay, and I never set foot on the peninsula of Korea. So like when people say, "Oh, you're gonna culture," it's fucking bullshit. Like so again, like I speak fluent Spanish. I have never been to. Let me see. Have I ever been to? I don't think I've ever been to a Spanish speaking country in my life, and I speak fluent Spanish. So I mean, it's just especially nowadays with the internet. I can see when it was
Yeah,
1950, you had to go travel. But my point too is this: when you're somebody, and I'm speaking about the average American, okay? Average American is in debt up to their eyeballs. And if you don't have actual money and you're traveling as an average American, you have to ask yourself, is this $8,000 trip? I mean, like, how far is that going to set a person back? Like cost benefit
yeah,
analysis,
of
ROI.
course.
And look, right, but Americans, we don't, as a people, we don't give a shit. We keep going into further debt. So that's
Yeah,
my
but also it also like it's funny. Certain people go, oh, let's like I don't have to go. I don't have to go to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower. I go to Vegas.
well, I
Like
mean, it's not the same thing, but I get it.
yeah, no. You see, it's for me like as like an European. I mean that is funny. Like
Well,
when
yeah,
people
but
say
like,
that, it's like oh, why should I go to the States? I have McDonald's around the corner.
well, right. So,
Like
well,
like
by the
it's
way, so you're touching on something. So, I have a friend of mine who's been to like 40 something different countries. Okay, and I haven't been to that many countries, but I've been around the world. And so, if you talk to this person, you let's put it this way: if you just talk to that person, you talk to me, and we don't tell you who's traveled. We just say meet Anthony and meet this other guy, and you talk to us. You're going to think I went to 40 something different countries. You're going to think my friend went nowhere because what my friend did was every single country he went to, all he did was go to McDonald's and get drunk and go to the beaches. Well, shit, you didn't really travel actually. You physically
no,
traveled, but you left your
yeah,
brain at home. And,
yeah.
and again, you can study things without going to places. But go ahead.
No, I mean it's the same thing. When I go to places, I'm like I'm the one that eat weird things and like walk around and find like
Yeah.
it's like eh, you you got to be. I mean, it depends on also how you travel. Like certain things is like sometimes you just wanna. I just want to get away from home. I just want to
I get it.
disconnect from
I
everything, and
get
you're
it.
just like lying on a beach for. I mean, like you said, but it's just that you're not at home.
I get it.
You're like so like you can travel for so many reasons, right? And you, I mean, you're pointing it out, like you don't really need to travel to be exposed to another culture or things like that.
You want to get away, right?
It's yeah, but it's and sometimes it's just like you cannot just mentally getting away. You have to get away physically. Because I know a lot of people that are so stressed out. So if they were at home or like had their computer, they were sitting and working all the time, like sometimes they do that just to, like, like cut everything
Right, but
and
yeah, but the irony is some of not all these people, but some of these people that say I'm so stressed, I'm going to go on this vacation for 2 weeks. Now they're going
get
to
even
be
more stressed.
right. They're going to be $10,000 or $8,000 in
Yeah.
debt. How'd that vacation work out for you, buddy? Like, not too good. So I mean, like it's
I, I
anyways. But
I wouldn't travel. I mean, it's the same thing. Putting yourself in debt for like that. Those are the wrong things to put yourself in debt. Like
yeah, you're going to need more.
you are living above your means,
Yeah,
and that's not like you are gonna shoot yourself in the foot if you live that type of lifestyle.
right. And by the way, so I'm going to Greece, right? Like I said, I'm going because my friends are there. That's who I want to spend time with. It's if my friends were living in a ghetto, I go visit them in the ghetto. I don't give a shit. So it's all about for me, relationships. However, when I go to Greece, people are like, "Oh, you're gonna go to the Parthenon?" Well, I ain't going fucking nowhere. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. I'm just gonna walk around aimlessly, no itinerary, and that's it. I don't want to see a fucking tourist trap at all. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to take a stupid picture by a stupid building. I don't care. Oh, it's got history. Everything's got history. Shush, please. That's it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the same thing. Like I'm not gonna argue with you when it comes to that. Everybody, it's the same thing. Like if you gotta do what works for you. That's what I always tell people. It's like and having an argument who's wrong or right in this. And it's like
Yeah, there's no wrong or right.
no, exactly. And it's like let people do what they want to. Like why would I? It's the same thing. It's like I completely understand where you're coming from too, and like certain times I'm like that way too, and other times I want to get out and travel. Then it's fine, and usually there's a reason for it, like going to meet some friends or whatnot, like again, like I said before, I'm fortunate to have friends around, like in a lot of places around the
Yeah,
world.
me too. Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to actually go visit them and see how their life is.
Yeah,
You
well, that
know?
yeah. If travel is anything, I think that's the key, right? Getting out there with the indigenous people of the country and really immersing yourself in somebody's life or the culture.
Yeah.
Not, oh, I took a photo by this nightclub. I took a photo by this building that's leaning over. Oh, wow. Okay, wow, wow. Okay, How did that help pay your mortgage or rent? How did that better your life? You could have fucking looked at that photo on the internet.
Yeah.
What?
But certain things are also like hard to actually grasp unless you're actually standing in front of it and looking at it.
No, I get it.
So
Listen, I
yeah.
was at the Coliseum. Magnus, I get it. It's an old building, honestly. I get it. Coliseum, amazing. The architecture, the technology at the time, that's really nice. Within 30 seconds, I didn't care anymore. I was like, all right, cool. That's nice. I learned what I had to learn. Wow, congratulations. And I'm hungry now.
Time to get away from
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do? Like,
standing out in the sun and getting
I mean,
deep fried.
okay. Yeah, literally, I was like, oh, this is nice. How much longer do I have to stare at this? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a tour. Cool. That's nice. Okay. Are we done? Can we leave? Like, I don't know. Like, what? It's there. It's cool. God bless everybody. I don't know. You take me to the Eiffel Tower. You know what I'm going to say? That's nice. This is nice. Okay, cool. Can we leave? Like, I don't know. What? Like, I don't know. It's just I'm worshiping an object, a building. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'd rather meet people.
Yeah.
But that's me. To each his own.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, and that's the most important thing. Is like you like some certain people. It's like I couldn't care less about traveling. I'll perfectly where I'm at, right at home. Like, and I don't need to go anywhere.
And the irony is, as you know, I'm not a couch potato. I'm not a lazy person. I love exercise every day, getting out, moving around, cycling, swimming. So it's not like I'm a bum, but I'm just like, yeah, I just don't. And for me, I'm no saint. Trust me, I'm a sinner. But I oftentimes would not travel, and I'd rather just give my money to charity. That would make me happier. And buying.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. If that makes you happy, that's perfect. And then I think that's actually a good note to finish up on. Like give people money. Like use your money to help other people besides yourself.
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying don't travel. Whatever works for you people. But for me, I'm just like, Again, I got friends in place. Like I want to come visit you. Honestly, you and my friend Rico, I would go to Cali for. But if you and Rico weren't in Cali, I would never fucking go to that state. Not because Cali's bad. I just whatever. Like that's great. California's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What am I going to see? Beaches? Oh, I've never seen a beach before. Like what? I'm going to see the slums of LA? Oh, because we don't got slums in Jersey. Like I mean, Hollywood.
I hear you.
Wow, great. Like whatever. Anyways, so yeah, for me it's not related. Anyways, very good. All right, folks. Thank you, Magnus. Anything else before we log off?
No, I think you're like what you said about charity. It's I like that. That's a good note to end on.
Yeah, like I said, I'm no saint, but I like to buy homeless people food and shit, and I use that money or I donate to different charities. And again, I'm not saying look at me, I'm great, but I'm just saying like for me, sometimes I like to give my vacation money to those people or donate to a cause or whatever. Blah blah blah. Anyways, thanks Magnus. Thank you everybody. We're gonna sign off.
Bye, Anthony.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.